Good afternoon, New York. Good morning, Columbia. How are you? How's everything? Ah, people are getting a little wackadoodle here and there. They've definitely surprised that Tim Walz got the nomination for vice president, or not nominated, I guess was selected as the nominee by Kamala Harris. And I'm not sure, I don't know enough about the political interests and whatnot to say this is a good choice or a bad choice, but it seems like he's got a clean record and he's a good guy, so we'll go with that. And he's done a lot for the workers in his state, so that's an important thing. If you're looking for some assistance as a worker. What else is happening this time of year? We now have, I guess, with Kamala Harris versus Trump, you have a clear choice. It appears, and I was one of those people that, I always go around saying you're voting for the lesser of two evils. And that would have been the Biden Trump competition. That was a definitely, whoever you picked, the odds are that they weren't going to go through 4 years unscathed. In terms of Biden, health collapse was probably in the picture. In terms of Trump, a mental breakdown, in the end of democracy. So now you have a choice, all right? Two lively people. Now, does that mean that it's going to be easy for them to govern? I doubt it. It depends on what happens with the Congress and the Senate, and it looks like they're going to be controlled by the Republicans. So nothing's going to get done for the next 4 years, except by presidential proclamation. And I think that's a good deal. I think also that if there's any chance of Democrats controlling either one of those houses of government, I think you'll see some sort of attempt to reform the Supreme Court, which is also a great idea. It's too politicized right now. Trump's claim that the Justice Department is politicized is both true and false. Yes, presidents can go to the Justice Department and ask to look at things. They don't have to do it. I've never seen. There's usually no retaliation if they refuse. So that's not. But the Department of Justice, where the Supreme Court is located, is very corrupt right now. It's very, 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 very political, which is not good for you and me. It's good for rich people, it's good for influencers, but it's not good for you and me. And even I am affected by Supreme Court decisions, and I think that's what Trump is looking at and hoping that will happen is that the election will go to the court, and the court will give him the presidency. And then you'll see a civil war. Then you'll see some extreme violence from both Democrats and Republicans, because nobody wants that. And I don't think anybody's going to accept it this time around. They did once before when Bush won, but I don't think they're going to accept it this time. I honestly don't. I can't see people sitting still and letting the Supreme Court steal democracy from us. I just don't see that happening this time around. So, but apparently we have now a clear choice as to who you want to pick. People complain that they didn't have it, and the people, from what I understand, Kamala's lead right now is coming from those people that didn't like either one of those candidates and are now at least happy that they have a choice. And I'm one of those people because I didn't like either one of those two people, really. I hate Trump with a passion. I'm a hater. I'm sorry. I'll tell you that right to anybody's face that wants to listen. I do not like him. I've never really liked him. I had some respect for him at one time, but then after trips to AC and seeing what he was doing, and talking to people, and started talking to people that I in the businesses that he was in, real estate primarily, and what he was like and what he would do to people. I just decided I have absolutely no desire to support him, like him, or anything else. He's just really is the scummiest person that I've ever seen in politics or anywhere else in the world, in business. I mean, too, you know. I should say the scummiest, because Elon Musk is right up there. You know, he's another idiot who claims he's highly intelligent, but he's one of these people that what they do is they go around and they buy other people's brains. You know, I don't know whether that makes them smart or not, or just. I really have no idea how that would rate him as intelligence or not. But based upon some of the things he's done and said since then, I said he's a fascist, and he's not a. This is Musk I'm speaking of. Is a fascist and not very bright. So we'll let that go with that. What else is happening now? I wrote something down here. Did you ever write something down and you can't read it? Yeah. The thing I wrote basically was the clear choice, and that they're different. It's different now. You have you're able to make a choice. You have also you have maybe we can start talking about the various issues. I'm cleaning my computer while I'm talking to you. Isn't that rude? But you can tell I'm forgetting what I'm doing. But I think we should start now, rather than is she black or Asian, or is Trump weird, and whatever. Trump has got his what was the second in command of the Third Reich? Was that Himmler? Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, Trump has got his Himmler now, and J.D. Vance, who's just friggin' weird. You know, he wants this. He wants people to force women to have children, couples and whatnot, whether they can afford it or not. I mean, you got most countries trying to, like China's trying to say, can you chill out a little bit? You know, only have one boy or one girl, something like that. You know, because they have overpopulation. They don't think in terms of that. You know, we've got all this land out there. Well, you're going to drill on half of it. You know, you're going to ruin most of the land. You're not going to be able to feed our own people anymore, let alone export food to other people. So, have a little sense there, which is something that's something that candidates don't express a lot of, is common sense sometimes. You know, and you know, you go back to looking at things like people like Davy Crockett and whatnot. You know, people that wouldn't probably go into politics now. You know, but they were there at the foundation of the country, and you see how they acted and thought and whatnot and did things. You know, and then you look and see what's going on now, and you're going, these people don't care about us. What's going on? There's nothing there. They don't care. You know, where's the empathy for the common people? You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, the way the politicians did when the population got to a point where, you know, they became more powerful or whatnot. And they don't care, and there were more rich people around. I said, it's not about caring specifically for this state or that state. It's about caring for the general public. I mean, if you don't do that, you know, there are enough violent people, sick people in this country to start some real problems. And the difference between 1800s and now is the type of weaponry that's available to these idiots. You know, It's one thing to go to war where it takes you like 15 seconds between between shots, to a situation where you can have 750 shots in a minute. You know, and the ammunition's much more powerful. It's much more long range. You don't have to be within 30, 40 feet of somebody to shoot him. You can be a mile away. It's a whole different ball game. So it's like when violence occurred when I was in high school. Well, see, this happened right after I got high school. So the fall of '63 or the winter of '64, January. A kid walks in to a basketball game and with a 12 gauge shotgun and blows somebody in half, right in the vestibule. Now, that was sort of unheard of back then. But because the average weapon back then was a zip gun, if you had a gun, or if you were lucky enough to steal a .38 snub nose, like Detective Special or something like that. You made your own zip guns. They were .22 caliber. They would not necessarily kill instantly. They were, if you died painfully because of where the wound was and because of the length of time it took help to get there. But they weren't the guns that are available to people today, and that's I'm not against guns. I've said this before, and I don't know whether this is off topic or what, but I'm not against guns. But you have to explain to me, if you're a hunter, a hunting aficionado, or even if you're a target shooter, what do you need a 20 or 50 round magazine for? Self-defense? Buy yourself a 10 gauge doorbuster shotgun. You hit somebody with that, they ain't getting up. You hit them in the arm's going to be going up. They're not going to be able to use. They're going to have to go find that arm. And there's less chance. It's just when people don't understand recoil too. You start shooting a gun and the gun goes like this or this or this. If you move, let's see, if you move that much, all right, which is just about an eighth of an inch at the muzzle of a pistol, 30 yards down the road, it could be 2 feet. Draw a line that way. See it. Just, do the physics of it. Or the geometry, the physics, whatever you want to call it. Just draw a line from the muzzle, put it at let's say a 4-degree angle, and draw a straight line out. You have no idea where that bullet's going. Okay? Target shooters have time. It's easy to score 100 points or a perfect score with time. It's very difficult to score, even in these combat ranges they have. It's very, very different to aim and fire accurately, unless you're a sniper and you're set up to do that in combat. Guys empty their guns out because there's a bunch of guys coming at them. They'll fire every shot they have and reload. And depending on how many people are coming at you, if you have a 20-round magazine and 20 people are coming at you and they're spread out at about 3 feet apart, 2 to 3 feet apart, and you just start spraying bullets all over the place, you're not going to get all 20 of them. All right? A couple of them are going to get up close enough to put bullets in your head. It's just the way it goes, There's also the what they don't like to say is that there was something like 20% of all wounds or casualties in Vietnam were friendly fire, because you shot the guy in front of you in the back. You didn't mean to, it was an accident, but you did it. It's just, people don't understand firearms, and they want, that's the people that carry them don't understand them, what these weapons are capable of. And if you have an automatic weapon, there's a process called cleaning it. You can't store it in a closet, put it down on the floor in the corner, and leave it like that for 2 or 3 weeks, and then come back and everything's going to be fine. Maybe, it may not. Depends how dirty your house is. Depends on what, temperature and humidity and everything else in your house is. And if you put gun oil on a weapon, the enemy will find you faster than, if you might as well put a flag up in the air. That's how they knew there were ambushes set up for them, the Vietnamese, because they could smell a cigarette almost a mile away in the jungle. It was amazing. All right, I've digressed several different subjects here, but bringing back to the beginning one is you now have a clear choice. Make the right one, or kiss civil rights, kiss everything goodbye, and get ready to see, what do they call those things? Prisons pop up everywhere, concentration camps is what I'm saying, meant to say. All right? Okay, listen, everybody, take care. I'll see you tomorrow.